Vaseline.
What is this? But that's the culture.
That's the culture.
That's the way we've grown up. If you've seen this commercial on TV, you know, your mother so fat she stepped on $1 and made change.
Yeah,
Did you see that?
yeah.
And another brother said, well, man, your mother's so ugly, she went to the bank, said, give me the money.
Yeah. Get the money in the bag.
Yeah, put the money in the bag. Well, this, to me, is our culture. That's the way in our life we express ourselves. But now we're expressing ourselves in our culture, but it has gone to the point now where we're expressing ourselves toward a cycle of violence. Tell me, how did this beef get started with you and Brother 50?
I really think it started from a lot of jealousy, a lot of hatred towards me. I think it started with a video shoot that I did on Jamaica Avenue. At the time, Murder Inc. we were on the brink of really doing big things. And we were all from the same neighborhood, and everybody in the neighborhood kind of knew that Murder Inc. was on the brink of doing big things. And he was an artist at the time. I think he was with Jam Master Jay or whatever, and we knew Jay as well. So it was kind of a situation where like he wanted to kind of be in or kind of be involved, but didn't know how to go about it. And I think when he seen how much love we was receiving on the Ave from all of the people, you know, because this is our neighborhood. Like, we're both from the same neighborhood. So, you know, the whole South Side's there, Hollis is there, Laurelton, like, I mean, the whole Queens is on Jamaica Avenue for this video shoot. And it was like, it was monumental, even though the video didn't get played like that. It was still a great video. And I think he didn't like the fact that I was getting so much love in the neighborhood. Like, I don't know why. I don't even know the dude, didn't know him, you know, didn't have any confrontation with him before this. But as the legend would have it, he supposedly had spoke to me and said, what's up or whatever, and I hit him with a, all right, what's up? And for him, that wasn't good enough or something. I don't know what it was, but anyway, what we do as musicians, we come out, we make great music for the people to love, for the masses. He came out with the intent to, I'm gonna use other rappers, big rappers' names, and try to diss them or downplay them so people can take attention to me, which is a great plan. But now all you're doing is creating hatred for yourself from other artists. And when he made the record about me, I didn't think it was funny. Like, I didn't think it was cool. You know, he had made 2 records at the time. One was called How to Rob, and he was talking about how he's gonna rob all the rappers in the industry. It was a jokey kind of record, but a lot of people took offense to it. My name wasn't mentioned in that record. It was another record that he made called Murder, I Don't Believe You, or something like that, that set my whole thing spinning. And when we had a chance to see each other, it was immediate brawl, confrontation, because we just don't like each other. I didn't start this, and I'm an artist that really went out there and made my records and then said to myself, what can I do to elevate myself and the music? And I started coming up with beautiful records. Put It On Me, Always On Time, I'm Real, Ain't It Funny? These were records that reflected more than just the hood aspect of hip hop. You know, the everyday, I'll clap back, you know, our you know, excuse, you know, but bitches and hoes type of scenario that, you know, we're used to in hip hop. I made records that reflected real life. I don't wake up every day angry. Sometimes I wake up and I love my wife and I want to talk about that. So I did. And people embraced it in a way that was new and fresh in hip hop. And it kind of changed the way things started moving. people started making more records that had more feeling. All the artists came into it, started making more records with feeling, started making more records about different aspects of life besides the criminal aspect. And this is where this whole hatred for me just really started from him. And it started to, you know, trickle down. So I guess when he got his record deal or whatever, he felt it his duty to call my name or disrespect what I'm doing.
At some point, I heard that someone robbed you of some of your jewelry.
That's a false story. That's a story he made up. Like,
Okay.
it doesn't even make sense to me. Like, all right, I'm gonna ask you, Minister. If someone robbed me, and then I seen that person with him, why would I get mad at him? You understand what I'm saying? Like if someone did some harm to you, you don't get mad at the person with them. He has nothing to do with it. He's just a bypasser on, an innocent bystander. Wrong place, wrong time. It's him that I have the problem with.
Mm-hmm.
So I never got that story, and then people eat it up and they love it because it's, you know, it is what it is, and the media eats all these stories up. But I never really got that story. Like, why would I be mad at you if your man robbed me? Like, I'm gonna get your man, or I'm gonna be hollering at your man, not you. And really it shows because I never made a record about him. So it was really no beef with me with him. It was always him with me. You understand? And then when I come back now and say, I don't like him for this, that, and the reason. And, you know, people say, oh, you know, now it's getting out of hand. But he already said his piece. He already came out and spoke largely about how he feels of Murder, Inc., which who cares what he feels or what's his opinion. But I was kind of upset at the fact that the people were receptive about these things he was saying. You know, I really didn't see it was going to be that serious until it started to get this way, you know. And then I said to myself, you know what? I need to make some records because I see it's a lot of ignorance that people they're not getting this. They're not getting the fact that these two men have a real problem and it's not about records. But since he made it about records, that's all the people see is the music.
Have you ever had contact with 50 other than through music?
Yeah, we fought in Atlanta.
An actual fight?
Yeah, we fought in Atlanta. We fought in New York in the Hit Factory. So we've had our our altercations.
But what was it over when you fought?
The first time we fought, it was over the record. It was over the record he made or whatever, the Murder record. A mutual friend of ours stepped in and seen me in Atlanta and said, you know, 50, you know, he it's just a record. He, you know, he didn't really mean nothing by the record. You know, Ja, talk to him. Will you talk to him for me? And so I said, okay, you know, I'll do that. I'll talk to him for you. You know, we have mutual friends involved, and I'm a bigger man, and I could go and holler. Let's holler. So we get face to face and we talk. During the talk, that's when it all came to play. You understand? I'm a very fiery kind of dude. I get mad quick and go off at the handle quick. So I got mad and I started letting them know how I feel. Like I don't like you, and I don't think what you're doing is real. You know, I don't think what you're doing is real, because real niggas don't do this. Like we don't try to get on off of somebody else. Like, you know, we come out, you make your records, and you sell your records. That's how it is. And if you catch a beef, then you handle that. But you don't come into it with this and this dude and this and that dude. And yeah, so I let him know that. Like I wasn't feeling his whole style. And so he punched me. He snuffed me. So as he snuffed me, boom, I caught him back. And now the fight ensues. We all over the place. We throwing down the thing. But see, I felt the disrespect because our mutual friend pitted us to talk. So you just violated the talk when you struck. After that, now our mutual friend is no longer mutual friend with me because you put me into this situation and I went on your word that we were gonna talk and it was gonna be cool and we could, you know, sometimes when black men talk, you can raise your voices or whatever, and get into it, but that's how debates, you know, that's how we get our points across in debates. And once that ensued or whatever, that's when the real beef started because now it's a physical thing. We get back to New York City and again, we're in the Hit Factory and I hear from a mutual friend that he's upstairs in a studio upstairs. And it got a little violent, you know, a couple of people were stabbed. Hurt severe, a little bit, you know, some severe injuries.
Was he severely hurt?
No, I think he took like a laceration to the stomach. You know, he got a few stitches or whatever. He, you know, he had like a black eye.
Was this before or after he had gotten shot?
This was before. It was before.
Okay.
So then, after that, that was the last time I've seen him or anything. And then after that, he got shot and he went underground, and nobody seen him. He didn't come around or anything. And duly note, we did try to eradicate this whole situation. We had
Was this after he had gotten shot?
No, this was after the fight at the Hit Factory. Okay. This was after that altercation. We tried to, you know, pull it together through the hood because here we are, we figure, you know, we're all street guys. So let's police ourselves. Let's call, you know, the heads of whatever street ghettos and you know, people that can bring us together, mutual people that could bring us together, and we'll sit down and we'll talk. We all showed up for the meeting. He never showed up for the meeting. So.
Who was the person that was asked to pull the two of you together?
I don't want to divulge those names out there like that.
Okay, but it was a mutual.
It was a mutual thing.
Friend of both of you.
Right, exactly,
okay.
exactly.
And you both had confidence that that person.
Exactly.
Okay.
And he didn't show up.
Was there an agreement?
It was agreed
by 50 that he would come.
Supposed to come.
Okay.
So after he didn't show up, it was taken as a complete disrespect. Like, here we are trying to do something. We all trying to put it together. And really, it was all about money because, you know, the guys who were managing him at the time were cool with guys that, you know, we deal with. So it was like a thing where we can pull this together. You know, like the OGs. We're the OGs. We can pull this together. These, you know, the two younger guys, they got a little altercation. We could pull it together. And when 50...
OG mean old God? Okay.
So we felt well, they felt they could pull it together, and you know, after that didn't happen, it was like a straight slap in the face, like, so.
Was it after that meeting that brother got shot?
I wouldn't say after the meeting, but you know, it was.
I mean, after the failure.
Right, it was a period of time after that, yeah,
okay.
He got shot, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that was the last that I've spoken to him or been in contact with him or anything like that. And then he comes out with all of these records, you know, this and F Murder Inc. And
was it suspected that it was some of your people that shot him? Or is that assumed?
I mean, I wouldn't. If I was him, I couldn't assume that. I mean, you can assume anything you want, but I wouldn't assume that if I was him. But he openly says he doesn't think that.
Okay. What's the talk in the street about his being shot and who they think it might be?
I really don't know. Like,
was there a significant or serious police investigation? No.
I mean, is there ever? I mean, we're still looking for the killers for Big and Pac and Jam Master Jay. I mean, it's like, it's ridiculous. But nah, nobody searches for anybody. Nobody cares. This is hood stuff. But it's not because we're artists. We're big artists. Like, so it's bigger than the hood, but when it gets to, you know, to the offices, I guess it's just the same old, you know, two black men killing each other in the hood, whatever. It's even better that they're rich. Let them kill each other. It's better.
How do you think this disagreement between you and 50 has affected your fans and the people in the street that love you both?
I think it's had a big effect on, and you know what, really, that's the saddest part about it. It's the kids that don't have nothing to do with it, don't know the history of it, to know that it's not, this really doesn't have nothing to do with music. Like, this happened on the streets, and it was a legitimate thing that we had, or whatever, a little fight that we had, and it has really nothing to do with records. And he used it as a tool for him to sell records. Because if you look throughout the history of hip-hop beefs, it does help sell records. So he used that as a straight vehicle for him to sell records. I'm gonna slander Murder Inc. and people are gonna take notice to what I'm saying, and I'm gonna sell me some records. And that's what he did.
But isn't this the culture as we come up in the hood from playing dozens, talking about each other's mama?
Absolutely, absolutely.
And then trying to find a way to rank your brother. And then this competitive nature where you on top and I see that I can do what you do.
Mm-hmm.
And then the way I come up is I have to pull you down or you have to pull me down. That seems to be the culture of black life in every field of endeavor, the thing that is destroying us and keeping us from doing what as a people we need to do is the envy and the jealousy that exists between people who, under normal circumstances, would be natural allies and brothers. So what I see, my brother, is this is bigger than Ja Rule and 50 Cent. Two artists whom God has blessed with magnificent talent. You just can't touch all the people in the world that you both have touched and not have something very special. 50 Cent has it, you have it, Jay-Z has it, Snoop has it. So many of the brothers and sisters in hip-hop are gifted by God with this tremendous gift. And I know Ja, as a young man, I used to be a calypso singer.
Okay.
And in calypso, you rhyme.
Right.
And there comes a time in calypso when you go to war to see who's going to be the king of calypso.
Right.
And it's based on who can stand up and rhyme, but make the other fella look bad in the rhyme, and whoever rhymes the best and ranks over the other man the best and gets the crowd on their side becomes the king of calypso.
Right.
But it never reached the point where we became violent with one another, or it struck the type of chord that was so divisive that the fans would then take up the beef with each other. And so what I see, Ja, is that there's something afoot that I think we need to try and look to see if there's a bigger picture. Now, you and 50 may have genuine dislike for one another for whatever the reason, but you're both artists and you both touch millions of people, and you both affect people in a way that your disagreement with 50 and his disagreement with you could ignite something that has the potential of becoming so violent that even hip-hop itself seems threatened by two giants going at each other, not just in lyrics, not just in words, but it's coming down now to should one or both end up like Tupac and Biggie. And none of us want to see that. In spite of the beef, you know, I love you before I ever laid eyes on you. And I love 50. And when I looked at this DVD on the beef, I think that the brothers behind it did an excellent job to show us the culture. Mm-hmm. Envy and jealousy is a part of our life because some of us have opportunity and others don't, but every one of us is gifted. Right. And some of us that have the opportunity to display our gift, we get fame, we get fortune, we get influence, we gain power. But every brother and sister in the hood and every human being, God has not failed one of us. He's given us all a gift, something that each one of us can do perfectly. But it's up to us to discover what that gift is, exploit it for the good of self and family and community. God has blessed you over 10 years ago to discover that you could rap. Right. But the jar that I see and the 50 Cent that I see and the men that I saw on that video, you're far bigger than what, as big as you are, you're yet bigger. Now, I realize that hip-hop is being threatened today. It's bigger than Ja Rule, it's bigger than Eminem, it's bigger than Dr. Dre or 50 or others. Hip-hop is being threatened right now. Why? You know, Ja, a lot of people that are ruling have spent their whole life deceiving little white people. Right. And certainly black and brown people, red and yellow people. God wants to put an end to a world of injustice. So the rulers who rule, they want to pass on what they rule to their children. Right. But something is happening, John, because God is separating children from their parents. You don't think like mom, even though you love mom. Mm-hmm. Mom may look at you and may not understand her son. Mm-hmm. I'm sure 50's parents look at 50 and say, well, I may have wanted 50 to go another way, but I'm glad he's successful. But parents generally don't understand the hip-hop culture. Right. Would you agree?
I would agree.
Now, but what is this culture? I mean, it's powerful.
It's youthful.
You all have taken the youth of America and the youth of the world away from those who rear them, who shape them, who use them. Black youth today They don't listen to their parents. They don't listen to their teacher. They don't listen to their preacher. They don't trust politicians. And they see those of us in religion as pimps who hustle people in the name of God. Or to put it, if I may, in the language of the street, you know, they see most of the leaders as those perpetrating a fraud. So they ain't got no respect for that which parents had respect for.
Right.
Parents had respect for the preacher, invite him by the house, fix him a meal.
Right.
Parents had respect for the politician. Parents had respect for the teacher. But the students today, they don't have no respect for the teacher, the preacher, the politician, the judge, the police, because they see it all as part of a system that they don't want nothing to do with.
Right.
So hip-hop has created a culture of its own that the enemy does not quite have a grip on,
right,
control of. Now, what I see, the bigger picture, Ja Rule, 50, Jay-Z, said these are powerful young men. Eminem. But they're rebels. Hey, can we control the rebel? What is the answer? The streets are too deep. We can't control it. And the thinking of the ruler is, if I can't control it, we have to find a way to eliminate it. Mm-hmm. Now, what's the best way to eliminate hip-hop that has taken my children from me? I think there was a movie recently, I didn't see it, about a little white fella who got in love with hip-hop.
Right.
What was the name of that movie?
Is it comedy?
Yeah, it's comedy.
Malibu's Most Wanted.
Yeah,
right,
but it ain't comedy.
Right.
They made it appear like comedy, but this is a young white boy who got his pants hanging off him. He got a little style in his hair, and he's talking the language of the culture of hip-hop. His father's a politician. He said, man, I got to pass something on to this boy, but they got my boy.
Right.
That's real. If you expand that out in the Senate of the United States government, they wanted to find a way to curtail or to control the lyrics when Ice-T was talking about smoking a pig or a cow. And they went crazy over that, right? Well, now Congress is saying, yeah, we want to get control of this hip-hop because this hip-hop has gotten our children.
Right.
Now here's white children following black artists. That's serious business. White children with Michael Jordan on the wall, Michael Jackson on the wall, all our top stars. They say, well, I go in my child's room and I see this black face on my child's wall. So my children are growing up dissing white supremacy and seeing themselves as a human being and seeing black people as human, but with a gift that I like and I want to follow them. See, the media takes the beef between you and 50 and they play it. They jam it. They keep it going. Why? Why would they keep something going that will produce